Whoever's on, let me know. That way I know who I'm talking to, if there's anybody specific, because a lot of clients, I know your situations and stuff too. I am going to gas and I am going to the dentist. So I figured I'd hop on here because I don't really have time to do a video. And then as soon as I get out of the dentist, I get to work. I have a lot to do today. So if you are on, please like the live, because I found out if you like the live, it pushes it out for more people to see. So there's a lot of people that have been coming that are going through a hard time that somehow are finding me through the lives. Interestingly enough. So just like the live, I would really appreciate it. There's this road that I'm driving on. It's considered a landmark in this area where they won't change it. Like, it's been here for 100 some years, but it's like something that makes the town the town. It's like a big deal. It's like a brick road. So whoever is on, reveal yourself, like the live. I would really appreciate it so it gets out to other people. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to put out there what I'd like to put out there. So a lot of my content is starting to change. So if you've been here a while, you've probably seen that like a lot of the things I go over now has been different, and that's because God's leading me that way. So we're like broadening the horizon, evolving, all the different things. So some, like, I like to talk about certain, so how do I put this? A lot of people in their Christian walk either want to go all the way to the side to where like we don't look at any logic, or they want to be, there's people out there that are just all logic. They don't put anything into the spiritual realm. Like, in other words, we need to have a nice balance between logic and the spiritual side, because see, when you don't, it's one of those things to where you're gonna be misled. Okay, so for instance, this type of journey, if you're only looking at it logically, notice how I said only. I didn't say looking at it logically. Only looking at it logically. What's going to happen is you are going to, like, for instance, when God tells you to do something, it's really not going to make sense in the natural. So we have to understand that part. Okay. But then on the other hand, you can use logical, psychologically based techniques to work out the situation as God's working it out for you. So a lot of people just want to sit around and do nothing, and then it'll work. I'm sorry, guys, it ain't gonna work. So you then would be like the guy at the pool. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that will like just sit around and do nothing, be in their prayer closet for years, and then they wonder why nothing's turning around. So we have to partner with God
and use the techniques and action-based things we can do to get things to happen. Okay? Taking action is very, very important because, again, God wants us to move with Him. Okay? So, the spiritual side you're supposed to put into play. But then at the same time, you want to use logical based things as well. So, this is why I teach both. So, what I wanted to touch on briefly today would be psychology of just how you can attract people. So, for instance, men, a lot of people don't realize this, and you probably don't either if you are a man. Again, whoever's on, reveal yourself so I know who's on, and like the live, please. So, basically, men produce testosterone. So, you can notice that when a man is pursuing you more, his testosterone is building up. But then when they release testosterone, which that could be done in many different ways, but also through intimacy, they end up, in other words, a lot of women will say that they mistreat them. Like, in other words, they're not giving them the same love, affection as they want. So through absence, believe it or not, you think you're growing apart from your spouse. But if you're a woman and all that stuff, and really men too, you think you're growing apart, but you actually are developing more attraction. See, a lot of people don't know this stuff. So this is to encourage you guys. Absence actually, that's why absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's so true. Absence will actually put more attraction to the dynamic. Okay, because men fall in love with you through your absence, even though women want to be with you. Like, in other words, to understand the biology, women fall in love in your time and building connection and in your presence. Men fall in love through absence. So believe it or not, okay, you're actually benefiting from the absence. Okay, the desire is being built up, the testosterone is being built up. So on a subconscious level, now remember, now this is not conscious. Men do not know this, but men, if you're listening, you probably wonder why you're more attracted to your spouse in that absence. Well, how God designed it. Now, again, like, there's men out there that don't want stuff. That's why I'm saying this is on a subconscious level. How God designed it is as the testosterone is building up, it needs to be released. Okay, like with sperm. Okay. So what happens is men's ego is so big, they're so worried that another man's going to come in and basically take their, I guess you could say, their ego boosted pride. Okay, this is all on a subconscious level, and they're going to pregnate you. This is why we'll get very bothered if a woman's dressing hot and stuff like that, because subconsciously the body is basically saying someone's coming in on my turf and trying to, shoot the sperm out and take my woman. Like, this is why back in the day, years and years ago, men would actually kill a lot of women who were unfaithful because their egos are so big, guys. You have to understand how psychology works. So women don't use these techniques as to their advantage. So, in other words, you're just sitting around and thinking that a man's just going to accept you with no makeup and just being a weight. And I know that might sound harsh, but I'm being honest with you. Do you want me to? Men are visual, ladies. They're visual. So we can't lie to ourselves saying, oh, beauty's in the eye of the beholder and beauty's within. Yeah, perfect world. I wish that was the case. God literally, told me many times to get to the gym. He told me many times, do some skincare. Okay. Because I really, really wish that it was the case that men, would accept us, with no makeup and having, like, a bunch of chub. And I'm just being honest. I wish that was they're visual. Okay. So if you want your man to be really attracted to you, get yourself the hottest you can. Okay. It's just the way that it goes. Okay. You always want a man to know they can lose you. When they know it's a guarantee, and they know that you're sitting around waiting by the phone, you're jumping out of the shower, slipping and sliding to get their phone call, there's no chase, there's no challenge, there's no hunt. Okay, this is one of the reasons why they got bored and left, logically. It's a spiritual battle, but logically. The devil enticed them. You understand? Because of how they're wired. He knows the male biology. So again, men always are going to be more attracted to people they can't have. Okay. Or there's a little bit of a chase and a pursue and a hunt. I'm just being honest with you. Now, see, I could lie to you all, but I'm telling you the truth. Okay. It's because I want you guys to succeed. Okay. So now, men, you don't understand. Women fall in love with their ears, men fall in love with their eyes. Just the way that it goes. So, you have to know how it works in order to be able to have it work to your advantage. Okay. I'm trying to see here. Okay. So now that we touched on that, I want you guys to start using these techniques. Okay. So for instance, be encouraged because the absence is actually working to your advantage. In the silence, it's working to your advantage. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that too. When you're silent and like you're living your life and there's mystery, oh my gosh, it boosts attraction. A lot of you don't realize that. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand God knows what he's doing. We got to understand that God's working even though it doesn't look the way that it does. A lot of you have scarcity and fear and anxiety through the absence. So what ends up happening is you don't intentionally mean to do this, but you basically want to close the gaps. So this is where you like will blow up your phone, blow up their phone. You will try to close the gap. Okay. Maybe when they're around you, they're dropping the kids or something off. You're like overly available, like super needy and desperate. Like, again, we have to have this work to our advantage by being mysterious. We have to have this work to our advantage by having there be a little bit of a chase and a hunt. And God designed men especially to be chasers and hunters, pursuers, because back in the day, like cavemen and stuff, they had to hunt food. They had to provide for their families and stuff. Now, the way that 2025 is, it became such an evil world. So with that of mindset, it could be used for bad. So in other words, they pursue, chase, and hunt way much. But we have to understand basic biology. A lot of people don't realize that. So then men, women, okay, they will be in this journey that even though they fall in love with their ears and men will tell them what they want to hear and stuff, every dynamic you get into, men eventually will take you for granted. So God actually is going to teach a lot of us to respect ourselves. We have to respect ourselves. If we don't respect ourselves, we will not respect other people and we can get a dynamic. Okay. So I know this was kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to put this out there to be encouraged that just because you are in apps right now with your spouse doesn't mean nothing. So I hope that this word was helpful. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you can, please like the live. Get yourself in the hottest possible shape, looks visually that you can, especially you ladies, but men too, because women want a good looking man. So again, I'm telling you guys, if you'd like to work with me, reach out through email redeemingthebroken@gmail.com. I love you all so much. God bless, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.